Palmistry reading of a lady teacher. Her age right now is 60 years old. She's completed 60 and running in her 61st year. These are her few questions. I would be answering them. Before I start my video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and do not miss another update. Call me on my number, or you can email me if you want a paid palmistry reading. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image. Before I answer this particular questions, I would be just telling you few very good lines on her hand before we start the main answering of the questions. Some of the questions might get answered with whatever I'm going to be telling you right now. The first thing to look on the hand for a teacher is this particular area, the area of Jupiter and the area of Mercury. These two areas, Mercury is the area of skill, communication, technical skills, business skills, all kind of skills. How good we are able to calculate, not just in your teaching line, but in life in general, in all your decisions. So a person who has these perpendicular lines, deep and clear perpendicular lines on the palm, the chances are that they are likely not to make any mistake, not likely to, they are going to be very effective. They might have been really effective communicators in their teaching line, but apart from that also in their personal life as well, like in their personal finances as well, or anything to do with technical abilities. So the understanding of technical things comes to this particular person very easily. So this is they are very good at paperwork, so the chances of them going wrong decreases. So this is a beautiful sign to have. The second thing to look at is the area of Jupiter. Now the area of Jupiter, if you would notice, it is basically this area. You would notice that it has got a very good padding. Very good padding over the mount of Jupiter means understanding of politics, understanding of religion, administration, organizational skills. All these things basically come to this particular person naturally, and these things are basically is present in them in abundance. So this is a beautiful sign to have. And having these backward lines that you see on the mount of Jupiter going like this upward, it means rising up to high position, not necessarily only from, like some people think that they would count only from year 25 to till 60s or 70s, but I am talking about even at an early age these people would have risen up to high position, maybe in small ways, but still risen up to high position even in small ways. So this is a beautiful sign to have, and their honor remains intact all throughout their life. This is what is represented by a good padding over the mount of Jupiter and these upward lines that you see. So this is good for all throughout your life and not necessarily only for 1 to 1 year basis. Now another very major line that you see on her right hand is this particular line that you see. This is a supporting lifeline, and supporting lifeline, this is the original lifeline, and this is the supporting lifeline I have drawn out here. So a person who has a very good, deep and clear supporting lifeline is a beautiful sign in terms of their fighting spirit. It is starting under the mount of Mars. This is the area of mount of Mars, and mount of Mars basically depicts our fighting abilities, fighting against difficult people, difficult situations, and coming out as winners. This the fight is on a day-to-day basis. Our fight is on a daily basis. So how good we are able to fight against difficult people and difficult circumstances is seen on the mount of Mars. So a person who has this beautiful line, beautiful, deep and clear line, not many people have it. Very few people are going to be having it. Many people are going to be just having something like a very, very small kind of a line. Many people are going to be having just things, or they might not even have this particular line. So the good area is only when this particular area has got least amount of lines. So there are few lines, but having this particular supporting lifeline indicates that fighting spirit remains with them. It means when they have to fight against anybody, it could be day to day, it could be legal, or it could be anything else. These people are likely to be winners. 100% they are going to be winners. Even if they, let us assume they lose, even then they would appear to be the winners, and they would basically still take the bigger chunk in the fight against difficult people. So try to understand that this line is one of the best lines that this particular palm has. It is also protecting this particular person from bad health. So the protection comes from this particular line. It is something like a armor around this particular lady, and it is protecting this lady from bad health, difficult people, difficult circumstances. So this is what it is. You would notice that the lifeline is something like is reaching till here, and then it's kind of there's some abruptness out here. So even with this abruptness, nothing is going to happen provided the person has got a deep and clear, singular, deep and clear Mars line. This is one of the best lines. You just need to have this line, and that's it. You don't need to look at the palm any further. So it's a rare sign. Something like a Mamata Banerjee and Sonia Gandhi has this particular line. Many more people have it, but so this gives protection. So this is what it is. Another thing that we find on the left hand is that, see, left hand and right hand, you would say that why I'm taking a look at the right hand more compared to the left hand. But my understanding is this, that working woman, we have to see the right hand, but we do not ignore the left hand. So whatever we are finding on the left hand, that too is basically implying in this particular person's life. So there are 2 or 3 things I will try to tell you in this particular palm. This is the heart line, and many people have these branches hanging on to the heart line that you see something out here. But in this case, there's a reverse. There's an upward kind of a lines that you see out here. See, upward kind of lines is beautiful indication on the palm, and specifically on the heart line. It is something like that the person is going to be supported by somebody or the other, or there could be some events in the life which are going to be something like bringing in more optimism. Or when the person wins, basically the person feels that euphoria, and the person feels that full of energies. So having these upward lines on the heart line is all and these indications on the heart line need not be purely some as far as relationship goes. It could be even some other aspects of the life that might get covered with these upward lines on the heart line. So this is a beautiful sign to have. You would notice one more thing on the hand is that this is the money line, this is the Mercury line. Mercury line, I have already explained out here. This Mercury line are beautiful lines, they are not intermingling, so that's a good sign. And these are perpendicular independent lines, these are good indication. So the lady asked that at the age of 25, anything important? I would say having the origination at this point on the money line and the technical skill line, this could be an important year for her. It's just an approximate year that I would say that this is when things might have bettered regarding her career, and things might have played out in a good way. There are few upward lines also on the lifeline that you see pointing towards either the Jupiter's position, and Saturn is basically money. So both these things play out, but this is very early in the person's life, and this age is approximately before the age of 25 or so. She also asked, what about the age of 55, that's the approximate age she's asking. So in both the hands, what we notice is that above the heart line, this is the heart line. Above the heart line, this is basically the sun line. It's kind of broken in the early period, but as it crosses the heart line, it becomes very deep and clear and singular. So this is considered to be a beautiful line. So it means that more name, fame, betterment coming to the particular person after the age of 53. That's the approximate age. Above the heart line means after the age of 53. And this could be not necessarily luck. It could be more to do with the person's effort the person might have put in after the age of 53 and more betterment coming to this particular person. We cannot say that the earlier period is bad just because the heart line is not so good during this particular. We cannot say, because there are other very good lines, supporting lifeline, upward lines on the mount of Jupiter, then even these independent very, very good lines on the mount of Mercury. So it's not one line. If it's bad during a particular period, it doesn't mean that that period is not going to be good for that particular person. It's just that more betterment is going to might have come after the age of 53. She has asked the question regarding 50, 55, I would say roughly 53. Line showing money at the age of 63. This is the question she has. I will just remind you, she's 60 and crossing over to 61. So as far as her birth date goes, I wouldn't reveal her birth date. So I would say her 63rd year is the important year for her. That's when few changes are likely to take place. And 2025, the whole 2025 again is going to be a major year. That would be the 65th year, and more important, it would be after February. I would say from February till December it's going to be much more important, because she would be running in her 66th year during that particular period. So that's the most important. If we, that is this I have explained to you on the person's like on the numerology part. But if we look on the palmistry part, you would find that this is basically the line of sun, and it's kind of a V-like formation that is forming. So if this age is approximately 53, so as the person grows older, so this could be the age the person would be around 63 or 66. This age could be 63 or 66. A V or a Y pointing towards the finger is a beautiful sign to have, and it means betterment coming to that particular person as far as name and fame, and even as far as money goes. So both these things are going to play out in a better way. When we take a look at the left hand, you would notice that again the sun line is extremely good out here, and then one line is going deep down inside out here. So it is said, it was told to me by some palmists that if a line from sun goes inside out here, it would mean the person is likely to get ancestral wealth. So this is depicted out here, and the age approximately, again a V or a Y that we see out here, same age, I would say approximately 66 or so. So this is what is depicted out here. There's also another line that is coming and merging into the line of sun. Again, this is a good indication. Age approximately, I would say that same that I've already told you, roughly 60, 63. If this is 63, this could be age 66. That's the approximate, I would say. On the money line also, we are finding this V or a Y. Do not think V or a Y basically means just victory. It is basically it is something like energies is penetrating inside the fingers. Then they are entering the palm, and when they are entering the palm, they are entering the life. And wherever we find a V or a Y, like you see this V or a Y out here, so these get accumulated out here. So it is basically beneficial. So same accumulation out here, so again beneficial. So this is what is depicted by a V or a Y towards the end of the money line that you see V or a Y and it's a beautiful sign to have. So this is another question that I had to answer. Now we look at the other question. What age will I fall sick next? Does 2020 show any domestic problem? Okay, so these two questions I would answer in one go. On her, she has asked about health, although I have already answered, but I will just repeat it once more. You would notice that I talked about this particular line, supporting lifeline. Supporting lifeline whenever the person has, this is the line of Mars. Mars is a red planet. Red means anger, aggression, and fire. So whenever a person has this, the person is getting protected from all possible things, be it their personal life, or let it be their any other like health related also. So it covers everything. So this protection is there, so the person need not worry at all, and the person is going to remain protected and nothing is going to happen to her. Although the line is kind of ending, but I would give you another case of I met a person who had a perfectly full line of life. Even then the person like it ended somewhere out here, so the person died somewhere at the age of 44 or so. So this is, the person had the full lifeline, yet the person did not survive. There was not even a cut out here. Try to understand. So you need not worry. Having this protection life would protect you from all possible problems. So this is a beautiful sign to have. Don't worry. And the last question, I think I have not answered. Tiny fork on the headline at around 60, pointing towards little finger. In my previous conversation, I talked about this particular small line. So in one of the images that I was given, I saw this upward line pointing towards the mount of Mercury. Upward lines is always considered to be good. And apart from that, you would also notice that the person has got a deep and clear line towards the end of the life. So this is all after the age of 60s. This portion of the life is after the age of 60. So having a deep and clear singular without any problem line means the person is at peace. This is what is most important. At peace is having, at this particular age, is the most important portion of one's life. So the person need not worry at all. And this upward line, even if it is not there, because in one of the images I did see this line, but in this I cannot see it very clearly. But apart from that, even having a deep and clear singular kind of a line is the same meaning, that the person is at peace. Thank you for watching this particular video. Hope you like this particular video. If you like this video, do click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel and give a like, give your comments down below. Before I end, I would just repeat the same thing that I repeat in almost all. What about my fate line? Does it tell about my money, possessions, wealth? You can come to know about money on almost all possible lines: heart line, headline, lifeline, sun line, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line. So this is what it is. A saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep good company. That's what matters. Bye and take care.